Well, Plugin Guru is an organization headed up by John Skippy Lemcool, who has been creating patches for synth manufacturers since a very, very long time. I don't want to put too many years on his age, but he has decided that we need in this world an application and plugin that enables us to corral every single software synth we've got together in one place so that they'll all play nicely together in the sandbox, and to also facilitate the use of VST and AU plugins in the Macintosh computer, and basically create patches by stacking things up. I can take a piano sample and add an Oberheim pad sound behind that and create a new sound, and if I want, I can add additional things on top of that, lots and lots of samples and sounds in the stack. And it's powerful stuff, it really is. I've seen other hosts before, but this one has some stuff that some of the others just don't have.
Unify comes with a whole lot of preset programs and layered programs. What's your overall impression of those?
That's actually one of the strengths of the thing, that John's programming is fantastic. The guy just has a great handle on that thing. And that's what he's done. He's leveraged a handful of freeware software synthesizers out there and made them all available in this package, but also has leveraged some samples that he has created personally for use by other manufacturers. So he's got a bunch of pianos and strings and vocals and a bunch of things in here that he's put all that together and created a whole ton of presets. So when you first launch the thing, it has, I think it's at least 500 different presets available to you right out of the box. It's nice.
And it's not a very expensive program either, is it?
The thing, I believe the retail price of the thing is $79, and considering the power of the patches that you get, and then also the flexibility of it all, that's a fantastic price. It's competitively priced with a lot of other software synths, but it goes a lot further than other software synths, largely because of the fact that it can include whatever software synths you already own.
John, you wrote that you first fired up the program, started playing, then looked down and realized that 2 hours had gone by without you noticing it. What are some of your favorite programs?
I'll pull some up here. We've got, and you can see as I scroll through here, basses, bells, and he just goes down the alphabet. BPM, these are all loopy kind of things here, with drums and basses and all kinds of neat things. Let's see, let me get down here. Just straight up kick patterns and so forth, pads. And these, like I said, these are all tempo synced loops, as it were. And chords and drums, great samples of drums that he's created, full kits of drums, effect sounds, getting down to some of the keys here, just great. Let's see here, he's got this dream piano here. It's kind of a dreamy pad kind of a thing. Down into the leads, there's some really fun stuff here in the leads. This fat black brass. And some more traditional kind of like a sawtooth lead. Let's see what else. There was a pad that really jumped out at me. Let me find this thing down here. Oh, this thing's really Galaxy Purist. So, everything from, kind of punchy, traditional analog 80s synth sounds up to, much more modern, kind of evolving textures and things like that take a lot more horsepower and power than a typical hardware synthesizer used to have.
If somebody has a DAW that comes with a whole lot of synthesizers built in, but they decide it's time to expand beyond those, would this be a good instrument to start with, in your opinion?
Absolutely, and probably the main reason for that is that it enables you, like I said, to very easily combine the software synths that you already own. So whatever it is that you've got in your stable, say you've got the entire Arpeggiation collection, for instance, this just makes it a whole lot easier to go in and stack things up and build entirely new sounds out of all of those. And there's a long, hard way to do that in a DAW, but this thing, it just corrals them all together and bang, bang, bang. You add another layer, and then in addition to that, it enables you to go in and modify each layer individually as well. You can pan each sound in its own place in the stereo spectrum. You can delay things in time to create motion in the stereo spectrum. Then there are also some neat MIDI effects available as well, arpeggiation and so forth. So you could take and start something arpeggiating with an eight, how am I saying this here? A single bar of 8/8 notes arpeggiating on the left side of your pad, and then over on, well, I've actually got one that's kind of like that. Let me pull this thing up here. This is one that I knocked together in about 10 minutes. So I've got Vacuum Pro from Air. Then I've got the freeware OBXD synth, and DX, which is another excellent, essentially a DX7 available for free online. And take and put all these together, and we get this. This pad with some motion in it, some stereo. So to get back to the spirit of your original question, you can definitely instantiate this in a DAW. It's a standalone app as well, of course, but you can instantiate it in your DAW and then use it this way to actually build instruments out of what you already have. And one of the neat things about this that kind of blew me away is that you can actually instantiate it inside itself. You can open up an instance of Unify inside of Unify. And actually, via that mechanism, you can create building blocks. You could create a big pad block and then add to that, whatever else you want to add. So it's pretty slick. I really like this thing.
Am I right that the reason you would want to open up a Unify inside Unify is to layer additional sounds with ones that you've already created?
Well, you don't have to do that. I mean, you can certainly, just as it is, right out of the box, that's what allows you to do, is to layer whatever instruments you have available to you. But indeed, Unify is one of the instruments you have available to you. So you could, again, develop building blocks with Unify, create Unify patches. And it would be just as easy, honestly, to create a layer the same way. But bottom line is that, again, you can put layers inside of layers and nest that way, and just have these building blocks available at the ready to help build whatever sound that you're trying to accomplish. And I think that would probably be the most useful in building loops, for instance. You could have a hi-hat layer, you could have a shaker layer, a snare layer, clap layer, kick, and so forth, and just put it all together, and also audition different kick loops with everything else that's going on. So just really powerful. There are other units out there like this. There are other corral them all together kind of hosts available to you, but there aren't many, first of all, that enable you to have both AU and VST instruments and or effects side by side on a Macintosh computer. I know there are others, but I'm not aware of any that have this level of sophistication in terms of effects. Every single audio plugin that I have on my machine is available here. I can go in and apply a certain cadre of effects to one particular synth in my stack, a completely separate cadre of effects to another synth, and then have them all blended together. And like I said, I'm not aware of any other application or plugin out there that enables you to do that with the simplicity of this. So again, at the price and considering the power of this thing, it's a no-brainer. It really is.
Yeah, I guess it's Plug Bidule, but that's actually different from this.
No, what's it called?
Plug Bidule.
Oh, right, Plug, yes. Yeah. Well, and again, there's also the issue of user friendliness as well. Just I am not a code writer. I'm a guy who programs keyboards and plays a little bit, and I'm more about the music, so I don't want to have to get a degree in computer science to sit down and make things happen. And then certainly Plug has over the years become more user friendly, but this thing, Unify, definitely very, very friendly to the musician in particular. It makes it easy to look at it all from a musical standpoint and to create stuff that's going to be useful to you musically.